What is going on, guys? Paul Ryan back at it again. I hope everybody's having a good night. News came out earlier that Zach Martin is having season-ending surgery. His season is officially over. Now, I thought his season was over a couple of weeks ago. I just, not necessarily because of surgery, but maybe because the Cowboy season was over. At least it looked like. So I didn't think they would try to rush Zach Martin back, and I thought that if they weren't playing him for anything, then why make Zach Martin continue to keep playing? And I find myself wondering, is this the end of Zach Martin's career? Well, I hope it's not. I'd love to see him play again, but I wonder, will he play again for the Cowboys or will he play for another team? On Monday night on the Across the Cowboys podcast, there was a question: is Brock Hoffman the future right guard for the Dallas Cowboys? And I thought Mike C.D. Piglet, aka the greatest co-host in the world, Mike Crum, brought up a good point, saying that Brock Hoffman has been good. He's got the attitude that you want. He's got um, he's looked good in spurts, but is he a Zach Martin replacement, one for one replacement? Absolutely not. And Mike is under the impression that maybe Zach Martin was a lot more injured than what we might have thought. I think I talked a little bit about this last a couple of nights ago, but Zach Martin, we knew about a shoulder injury, but maybe he was playing with more. That was something that was reported a while ago as well. And so it has me, just kind of wondering, could maybe we see Zach Martin return if the Cowboys finish strong, and maybe Mike McCarthy does end up coming back, and there's just some continuity, and maybe there's a feeling that this team is actually closer than what the season might imply. Could Zach Martin make his return and finish his contract with this Cowboys? Now, I don't know if he's on a 1 year deal, if this is the final year in the contract that he signed, or if maybe he has another year or two. But I'd like to see Zach Martin return, especially after hearing Mike break down the differences in Zach Martin and Brock Hoffman, and Brock Hoffman, and with the thought that maybe Zach Martin wasn't actually 100% healthy. Now, Zach Martin definitely is getting older, and his play has started to decline a bit, but I think it's probably been a couple of seasons since we've seen Zach Martin at 100%. Of course, players at his age are rarely, if ever, 100% in the off season, at the beginning of the season, in the season again, when they have all that wear and tear on their bodies. But maybe even at 90%, who knows if we've even seen Zach Martin at 90%. So that was just some kind of food for thought. I'm hoping that this isn't not just the end of Zach Martin's Cowboys career, but hopefully it's not a career ending injury. It didn't sound like it would. But you never know. We've seen players retire when they're like in their early 30s, and they're in perfect, if you want to say what we might think is mental health, I guess. But they're just tired of the wear and tear that's taken on their bodies. And excuse me, we hear so many horror stories about how players can barely walk and move after the game, and guys are starting to have lives outside of football even while they're still playing, and they're starting to prioritize their well-being after the game so that they can be, I guess, make up for lost time that they didn't have with their children, their wives, and their families, and things like that. So, hopefully, whatever path Martin decides to take, and I just hope that it's the right one for him. And I'd love to see him play again, but hopefully that if he does decide to retire, that it's not because he's physically unable to perform, but maybe he's just deciding that the game's just not worth it to him anymore. So whatever it may be, man. Yeah, again, just a speedy recovery for Zach Martin, and like I said, I hope to see him back in a Cowboys uniform, or just maybe see him playing ball. But yeah, that's all I had for you guys tonight. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this could be the end of Zach Martin's Cowboys career, or maybe his career at all? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and like this video. I'm Paul Ryan, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.